Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Morning. How are you, man?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Since we had
Yeah.
I actually saw Austin, not Austin, you were Austin. I saw Brennan the other day at the Taiketo show in
Oh, yeah. That was a good show. He said it was great. I didn't get to go,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. It's been a while. It's since we had a bit of a chat. I think it's probably even in Perth, like
Yeah, it's probably something like
many
that. Yeah.
moons ago. So,
Yeah.
so thanks for taking time to talk to the Rock Pit. There's so much to talk about. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
I actually bought one of those road cases that you were doing for the new album. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, thanks for that, man. Awesome.
it sounds great. I mean, it's interesting for me, like knowing the band from back in the day, I guess.
Mm.
Seeing you, I think the first time I saw you was even before that first album was out, which
Yeah,
was
probably that would have been, yeah, that's a long time ago now.
and
Yeah.
to see the change over the years, especially with such a gap between second and third albums, incredible.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. Well, it does the thing. It's been such a long wait for this new album, so it was, you know, it's good to hear that people did hear the growth because if we didn't change much in that time, it would have been quite disappointing.
yeah, I mean, I think the sort of contrast is quite stark, even from between the second record. This is,
Yeah.
for me, definitely the best music that I've heard from the band, and it's
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we feel the same too because there's definitely a lot of growth in the music in our musicality and musicianship and whatnot, and and obviously the production wise, we went if we went to one of the best of the best. We really wanted to. We put a lot of effort and put a lot of our. It was all self funded ourselves and everything. So we wanted to because it's been such a long wait. We wanted to really put something out there that was like worth the wait.
yeah, absolutely. The only thing that surprised me a little bit was that Black Mirror wasn't on there. I know it came out on the vinyl or with the vinyl of the sort of like repackaging of the second album, but to me,
Yeah.
the first time I heard it, I think was probably the first Glam Fest when I saw it in Adelaide, and it was introduced at the time as the new song. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved that track.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun song, that one. But that was that we did Black Mirror was kind of like because it
Between the two, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah between the two albums, and we kind of just did that just to keep us just we had to put something out there. It'd been a long
Yeah.
time still, even from then to from Black Mirror to this album again. So it was just something we had to get out there at the time, and we were writing together a lot, and yeah, that's what we decided on. But it's good to have a new album out there with some fresh material, and we've been rehearsing it like crazy. We've already performed the album at our
Yeah.
album launch, and it's good to play some new stuff. And it's good people are enjoying it. It's been received, and the response has been great for it. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's well deserved as well. I mean, before we get onto the album, because I'd love to talk about some of the songs, especially the ones that weren't the singles. That
yeah.
I think there's a couple of real gems in there. This year could be the biggest year for you guys, I think. I mean, there's so much going on.
Yes.
You're on the verge of a US tour. There's a UK tour. You're on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Uh,
Hmm.
could
Yeah.
could things get any better?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the offers like, the offers arise, and we just take them. Like it's simple as that. Like we don't really know what's happening, but we do feel like we are getting that sort of whether people are starting to catch on a little bit more now. I don't know. Like this album has definitely been a huge thing for us. We've had a lot of new fans now, and even our album launch, it was like we packed out a venue in a venue in Melbourne called Max Watts. Sorry, yeah, like over 700 people. It's one of the biggest headline shows we've ever done,
Mm.
and then we've booked a show in Melbourne again in April, and that sold out in under 2 weeks. And we
Or
used to play
another
that
one?
venue. Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to play that venue years ago, and if we would have killed to sell that venue out, but then now we're selling it out in under 2 weeks, and we've had to add a second show, and it's cool. Yeah, it seems like things are happening, I guess, a little bit. Like, I mean, it's taken 15 years for these kind of great opportunities to happen, but again, we do it as we do the music as well, just because we do enjoy playing together, and we do love playing live and touring, and we just enjoy it. So the things that come with it are kind of just bonuses, and obviously bucket list things we're doing at the moment, and we're ticking off some dreams, which is really cool as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So we'll look at some of those in a minute because I wanted to do like a bit of a timeline thing, especially for some of our readers in the States who might not be quite as familiar with the
Yeah.
band, but I'm sure we'll be with Scars. One thing I did want to say though is like since that move to Melbourne and building up the fan base over there, everyone loves you. Everyone will tell people about you. Everyone will turn people onto the music, and that must be such a wonderful thing as
Yeah.
being in a band to sort of like hear. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I,
I've had people who write for the Rock Pit telling me how great Sisters Doll are, and
oh wow.
I've had
That's
to
cool.
say, hey, hold on a minute, I do know a little bit about these guys
Yeah.
already. But so
Yeah.
take us back. One of the things that I don't think we've even really covered it is, but what was it like growing up in a small town in Collie? Now that you're doing the sort of things I guess you dreamed of,
Mm.
d was there this unquestionable sort of like you just knew that you were going to get there?
Uh, that is a good question. I think we just at such a young age it was just something we just wanted to do. Like we were like we got to try this like in our life. With we grew up with Kiss on our walls and like Van Halen and Motley Crue and all these guys and as kids we'd watch these. Our dad would play live DVDs of these guys and and we'd just watch and just be like, even at such a young age, it was like that's what we want to do. We used to put on little concerts for our parents in our little like in our dad's little memorabilia kiss room. Like we used to put on concerts and we used to make them have to. We used to print out like cut out little fake tickets. We'd make our own tickets and give them to our parents and family members and stuff to watch us. And um, it was just something that was just in us to just do it. Like and doing it in a small town like that. Like that town was sort of where we were from. It was either like the life there is kind of like you either go work out like at the mines and do like a trade or something, and or you play like Aussie rules football. Um, and there's some good musicians that come out of our town. And our dad was a musician growing up, so it was just in us to want to do the same thing, and we just loved it. And obviously to appeal to the masses and to reach the masses of the world globally and even just within Australia, you had to sort of get out of that town to sort of make a name for yourselves. You could move to Perth, which is about 2 hours,
Yeah.
2 hours away from us, but at the time we just made the decision to do Melbourne because we knew the rock was still quite happening here. And yeah, and here we are, however many years later, and we've kind of all independently too, developed a decent name for ourselves here, and it's taken a long time to get it where it is now, but the ride and the journey of it's been like all worth it, and the stories we have and stuff are I feel like we'd have a good movie one day, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah,
The move, I mean, really, in hindsight, must have been the best thing you ever did. Although
yeah,
I guess you missed the weather. I got over to Melbourne the other week and it was 36 and absolutely humid as hell. And the next day it was 16 or
yeah.
19, something like that. Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, it does whatever it wants.
Yeah. So who was the first in the band to pick up an actual instrument? Like, and how long ago was that? I mean, you guys must have been, wow, not even nowhere near teenagers when you first
Yeah,
did that.
yeah, it was like Brennan, our singer. Our dad was a drummer in like bands himself, and he could play bit of guitar and stuff too, and he owned guitars. But he was a drummer, so drums were kind of like the instrument. All four of us can play actually. Well, not we know not the level that Bryce is at. Bryce was the best at it, but we can play drums decently because it was kind of the family instrument because there was always a drum kit set up. And but Brennan, the singer, yeah, the first instrument he probably started on was drums, and then he had a band before Sisters Doll. He was in a band with his friends for a good 5 or 6 years, and he was a drummer in that band. Uh, and then during that time, Brennan always wanted to be like a front man, and he loved Ace Frehley and Steven Tyler and these sort of guys like that. And so a front man was something he always wanted to do. And then his band that he had, they folded, and Bryce was always the drummer, like just was just great at it, like naturally. So then Brennan bought himself a guitar, and then Bryce and Brennan would jam up in our back shed. We had a bit of a studio set up at our old home in Collie, and they would jam out just on guitar and drums. And then um, then they come up to me because I was just there, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to learn bass?" And I was like, "Why not? I'll do it." Yeah. So then Brennan taught me what I needed to know to learn some covers, and it kind of just started like that, just jamming up in the back shed. So yeah, but yeah, all of his first instrument would have been drums.
Yeah.
That's what we started on.
I mean, one of the things that really stands out about the new album for me is how far you've come as a guitarist.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
There's some
Yeah.
great stuff on there. Like there's some wonderful solos and stuff.
Thank you,
Um,
man.
and getting the fourth brother in as well. That's been a long
Yeah.
time coming.
Yeah, it's something that had to be done, I think. Like, even we look back at footage now of us just as a three piece, like, I mean, only from a few years ago. And I look back at it now, I'm like, damn, it look weird. Like, two guitarists and a drummer. Like, it didn't look right, you know?
It's
So,
yeah, I mean, obviously it gives you more possibilities as well, especially
mm,
live to do stuff like that.
yeah,
It's
definitely. It's a lot heavier.
already, yeah, already a band who's had so many career highlights, playing with Kiss, Peter Criss, all kinds
Mm,
of other stuff. What have
yeah.
been some of the big ones for you?
Mm,
I think there's a few coming up this year.
yeah, definitely this year, there's some good things happening this year. I think definitely doing the Kiss cruise when we performed on that, that was a pretty surreal thing for us, especially growing up as Kiss fans. And Kiss are literally probably the reason why we even play music, just because we just wanted to be them at such a young age. So, and it was interesting on there. They, because on cruise ships, there's different schedules for each band and stuff. And I think I think the first day on the Kiss cruise, Kiss were doing their sail away show. So they're out on the pool deck doing their show while the boat's first sailing off, and it was crazy that like we're there watching them do their thing and it's great, but we had to perform after them in another little like club on the boat. So we're like we had to literally walk away from watching Kiss to go set up our own show, and then yeah, we ended up packing out the room, and it was yeah, they couldn't fit any more people in, so it was almost like we joke around and say Kiss supported us for that day. So
That's a good one. Yeah, and sadly, no longer with us as a band, but I'm sure it's not the end of the story for those guys. But I guess we'll see over the coming years. The Monsters of Rock cruise though is huge. I mean, I went back on, oh God, it's almost a decade ago now. Oh, it
yeah.
is a decade. 2015, I took the plunge. The exchange rate then was a dollar for the dollar, so
Oh wow.
it was like really good option.
Yeah.
Wonderful thing. Great to see so many bands and sort of like be going from stage to stage. I mean, it was one of those things where 12 hours a day you were just listening to music and immersing yourself in it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you'll love it and you'll kill it. And there's such a sort of captive audience as well. I'm sure you're going to make a lot of new fans on there as well.
yeah,
But
we're gonna
you've
do
also
the
got
best.
yeah, you've also got the UK tour with Kickin Valentina as well, which
Yeah,
sounds great.
yeah, it is, and we've been asked to go to UK for years.
Mm.
Like even the old Dot Up, our second album era. Like we're always told you to go to UK. Like you're gonna kill it over there, and we just never got around to doing it because it's you know, we fund everything ourselves. Like it's all out of our personal money. So the funds and that, it's expensive to get there and try and tour there. But this time it's worked out. We had a good offer and we got a good festival. We're performing at over there, Call of the Wild Festival. Great
Yeah,
lineup on that. And then yeah, we're touring with the dudes from Kicking Valentina, which is awesome. So um, yeah, first time to UK. We've never been there, so we're excited to see what all the fuss is about.
well, you'll go then great. It's a big market, especially if you sort of like crack on into Europe as well and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But Call
yeah,
of the Wild is sort of like basically from the area in the UK where I'm from. So that would have been
yeah,
like my local
yeah,
thing. Been going for a good few years now, and you're on a fantastic bill there as well. So
yeah, yeah,
nice
for
that
sure.
nice that it's at the end of the tour.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we finished it off on that, so it's cool.
You get to do it on a real big high note. So
Yeah.
getting onto the album, I don't know how long we've got. We must have a 10 minutes more, maybe. Do you think?
What do you think? I'm not sure.
Have you got another one after this, Austin?
I do. I have one at what's the time now? 1 o'clock. I have one. So
Oh, okay, cool. We've got
Yeah.
a bit of time. But so cracking on to the album, we had, I guess, the first thing after All Dolled Up, the second album was the Black Mirror single, which
Mhm.
got a release on the vinyl version of that, which
Yeah.
I was trying to dig out so I could hold it up for you, but I couldn't find it. I know I've got it,
Yeah.
but then we had sort of like I guess the first single after that would have probably been Prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah. That
At
was the next one after
at
Black Mirror.
2022.
Yeah.
And then we've had since then Change, United, all fantastic songs, and Don't Give Up on Us, that are sort of like big ballad. So it's a wonderful way in that the fans get to hear almost half the album, I guess, before the launch. And then as you did that wonderful thing at Max Watts and you played the whole album in full for everyone.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite tracks though, you've saved.
For the rest of the album, you mean?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think on first play, the one that really sort of grabbed me was Baby Doll.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's one of our favorites too. We love that one. When
Yeah,
that's fun. We had that song. The idea of that song and the the riff behind it was written was like back when we were a lot younger in Western Australia, living there. And then I think we tried to sort of we sort of tried to bring it back around and try to liven it up again for the second album, but yeah, it got pushed to the side, and we sort of just left it for years and never touched it again until this album. It's like I think we've got to do something with this. It's kind of got that beat it, Michael Jackson beat it kind of beat, that dum 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 dum, and we've had that for like years. That little the groove for it, and Brennan sort of reworked the lyrics when we demoed it up in this studio here, and yeah, it's sort of become a favorite for a lot of people, I think.
yeah, it's a fantastic song, and I'll talk about some of the others as well. Some of the other feedback I've been getting from people, because we've reviewed a few of your shows in Melbourne as well, is
Mm.
everyone's loving the way that you're treating the old songs now as well on stage. So slightly different arrangements and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
but I heard a few of them, and I love what you've done with songs like Johnny, especially,
hmm,
and Strut. It sounds
yeah.
great. I mean, you've
Oh,
sort
thanks
of like
very much, man.
really brought them up to age, and I guess the shift, because it's been 8 years between albums, the shift is a lot more apparent to a lot of people who don't get to see you live. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was
I
playing
know.
one
I
of
think
the
it's almost like it's kind of like we're a new band
Yeah,
again.
it is, because I was playing All Dolled Up the other day, and I was looking at the credits on the back, and even the names that you gave
Mm.
yourself on that second album, it was I think B Monroe was one of them. You were, and I saw the name pop up. Um, you were
Yeah.
Aussie. I can't remember what it was.
Aussie Fox. I think
Aussie
it was.
Fox with a few X's on the back there as well.
Yeah.
So that
Hmm.
whole glam thing is part of your history. It's wonderful, and it's the sort of music I love. But
Yeah.
just the maturity that comes off in this album is,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. It's like you're a whole other band.
Yeah. And all I guess the change that we've sort of done wasn't a choice or anything. It's just kind of, we're a lot younger than during that album, and we'll kind of, I don't know, just naturally. Like I was like, I'm not wearing this hat anymore. I'm not wearing the black lipstick anymore. You know, I'm 27 now. I could still do it, but like I it was good for that time, and it was some good fun. But yeah, it was a natural growth.
No, I think it is, and I think your audience grows with you as well. So
Yeah,
like, it's not that you're changing to capture a new audience. It's that you're
yeah,
just growing musically and growing as
yeah,
people, and then you're
yeah,
taking the audience along with you as well. I mean,
definitely.
I love the sort of darker image as well, and
Yeah,
I think people who are just into their rock and roll, probably not as much into the sort of glam stuff, are gonna like
yeah. And
really.
we did that style with the real. We still dress up now, but not as that colorful and that. But like that was we did it for years like that. Like that. That's most of our career was kind of
Yeah.
in that style. So yeah, as I said, just being what we are now is just a natural change. We're just growing older, and yeah, it's just that natural maturity had sort of just occurred a bit.
Yeah,
But
it's
there's nothing. I don't. I'm not shitting on what we did because I find it cool that we
no,
did that.
no,
Like,
yeah.
I think it's great, and maybe one day if we do a 20th anniversary of the first album, we can maybe dress up like that again and put a show on.
It sounds good. I mean, I love it all. I just think it fits the music, and that for me
Yeah,
is what it's all about. I mean, there's some wonderful stuff. Purgatory, I loved opening
yeah,
out the instrumental. Whose whose
yeah.
whose idea was that? Was that yours?
The it started off with me the whole the finger
Fancy
picking
that.
sort of
Yeah.
and everything on the that was in Western Australia living over there. I had that whole melody of it sort of written out, the acoustic picking throughout it, and then I was just playing that over and over and over again. And I was a bass player at that time, but I was just playing it on the acoustic over and over and over again. And then Brennan's like, "I'll keep playing that. I'm sort of gonna." He started like jamming to it just on the guitar and had like that main melody on lead guitar. Brennan actually wrote that because I was just like on a loop, just playing it while he could just solo over it. And then we're like, this sounds like a cool intro, and we've just kept it in the back burner for years until now. We wanted to. It was time to use it,
Yeah, it's
and
sort of like
yeah,
that sort of reveal of the album, the opening.
yeah,
It's like welcome,
yeah,
welcome
yeah.
to the stage.
It's fitting for the first song too. It was
Yeah,
yeah, it's a good intro to the album, I think.
yeah. I love it as well. There's a lot of different styles on there as well. So you've got stuff like that. You've got the just sort of anthemic stuff like United. You've got
Mm,
the bluesier Take You Away is another one that I loved as well. I thought
yeah,
that was great.
that's probably my favorite. That one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think that and Baby Doll are probably still my two favorites. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I loved all the singles, but I'm so glad that we you saved some of the best stuff for the album launch. Kiss Me
Yeah.
as well. So that's almost could be a crossover song. That could easily be on the radio. It's uh
Yeah.
it's a shame that yeah, like I mean you got that support for the first single, I guess, on the radio, but
Mm.
it's so hard for a rock band these days to sort of get airtime.
Oh, 100%. It's
Easy.
especially when you're not as known as what's out there now. Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, I get it in a way. Radio stations are like, oh, why play that? We don't need to. Like, we got a bunch of a lot more known artists that we could play. Like, but it's just there's not that but like Dave Gleason from Screaming Jets, he's been the only one that's like supportive of new upcoming sort of, not that we're upcoming, but but of new age rock out there. Like, he's put us on his show on Triple M like a bunch of times, and he's been the only one supportive of that. Where a lot of the other radio stations don't really yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, rock isn't a huge thing anymore. I don't think it's dead. It's just a bit overshadowed by everything, and I mean, I guess that's their reasons. Like, why play a new rock band? I don't know. I don't really know what the reason is, but yeah, that's
We
what I.
need more of it. Music's so important to so many people out there, and I think a lot of
Yeah,
rock fans are a lot more passionate than sort of fans of some other genres out there. And
yeah,
when you get on that Monsters of Rock cruise, you're going to find out like it's incredible, it's wonderful. One of the things I most loved out about it is I was sat down at breakfast one morning and just
yeah,
having some pancakes and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Dave Menninchetti from Y&T comes and says, "Oh, can we sit here?" I
Oh
thought,
wow.
"Yeah,
Yeah, go for
absolutely."
it.
And then that sort of thing happened every morning. If you got up early enough,
Yeah,
you catch a lot of the bands will be coming out. And it
yeah.
wasn't until the end of the cruise that I realized that the guys from Europe were in the next cabins down from us.
Oh wow. Was that close? Did you go knock on the door when you found out?
No, I only found out on last day. It was because Joey
Yeah,
would always be out getting coffee. There was like this private, like most of the bands are on their own fl floor or whatever you call
yeah.
it. And yeah, and there was a coffee shop at the end there, and you'd see him all the time in this coffee shop getting his coffee. So
Wow.
it's so cool. Everyone's so nice, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are going to go down. So, how many times do you play on the cruise?
I think it's 3 times we play.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to play the outside stage, the outside deck.
I don't think we're booked for the outside deck. No, I don't think so. A lot of the indoor sort of venues.
The theaters and stuff are fantastic. Do you get to play on any? Do you get out onto the island or anything like that when you stop off?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you can. It stops off like the day pretty much, and yeah, we'll probably get off and I mean, yeah, we'll go have a walk around if we can, and yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll sort of like want to close up with a few questions I've been dying to ask you all interview. So some of the
Yeah.
ones that we ask everyone. So how many I've worked out? I've asked five members of KISS these questions as well. So we'll see how you
All
like.
right.
For you, I mean, this is a difficult one because we've sort of touched on it before, but for you, when was the like defining moment when you knew that your journey was and music was going to be something that was more than just, I guess, a hobby? When you knew that it could be something that was more viable,
Yeah.
was there a moment where it suddenly dawned on you, hey, things are actually happening?
Yeah. That's a really good question. I'd say majority of my time being in the band in WA was probably a bit like I was a lot younger and I was kind of like, oh, I'm just this is fun. Like I'm just
Yeah.
it was just a bit of fun and I like to get my rocks off and um but because I was a pretty shy and quiet kid, so I don't really know how I kind of developed like the persona I have on stage. It was kind of like I don't know, it all just naturally sort of happened. But when I was a lot younger, yeah, it was kind of just it was all just a bit of fun. I was like, I don't really know what's going on here, but like I want to do this. I'm enjoying it, and if I could do this forever, it'd be great. But I guess when I had that realization, it was kind of um, and more so the realization I had was kind of like, well, this is sort of becoming something like we this could turn into something um quite serious and have like longevity for us was probably maybe I'll be honest, probably very recent years.
Mm.
Like a, a big moment was definitely this album launch, honestly.
Yeah.
Like just this recent one gone by. Um, we were so nervous doing this venue because it's a big room and we haven't done a headline show in a venue that big before. And then for whatever reason, it just sold super well. And from what I've heard from everyone said they couldn't move in there. It was so tightly packed, and we pre-sold like over 500 tickets,
Mm.
and then an extra like over 200 come on the door, and like that show in that moment. And I look back at photos now, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe like it's taken a long time, but we actually that was a good moment for me where it's like, well, we actually packed out a venue this big. Like this is our first time doing it, and now I'm hoping from there it just grows and grows and grows. And
Yeah.
uh, that was sort of a big moment for me, and doing this album and the release of it and stuff. Of course, I've always had like I've had the realization in the past, like, well, this is something we could do, and I believe in it. Like, but definitely this that recent launch and this new album is. I think with Sage joining the band now as well, it's just as I said earlier, the band it feels like a new band again, and there's like a new lease of life to the band, and um, I feel even more stronger now than I did back then about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's incredible, and I think you've got everything lined up this year as well to sort of build the momentum from that as well. Um, you've been to the States before, you know what to do, but a
Yeah.
festival like Call the Wild sold out already. So, and I think
Oh,
you,
the festival sold out.
yeah.
Oh,
So sold
I
out
didn't.
last year, sold out this year. So,
Yeah.
so
Oh, great.
you're gonna get in front of a lot of people, which will be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to that for sure.
Before I ask you the closing two songs, one of the things that you've told me in this interview is that like some of the songs here are the things that you've worked on previously. How many other like gems have you got out there that you've got left to work up? You must have quite a body of music.
Of stuff that's not released.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Like I'm sure Brennan's phone would be full of notes and voice memos of different songs, and I've got a bunch of stuff in my phone of different songs. I was just yesterday demoing up some stuff, something I was working on, and yeah, there's just like it's good. We've probably got there's another album sitting there, like ready to be worked on. So
Fantastic. That's
yeah,
what we want to hear.
yeah.
Now the questions that we ask everyone first time we speak to them. If you could have been a fly on the wall for the creation of any rock and roll album in the history of music, what would you love to have seen being made just to see how the magic happened?
Hmm. Damn. Probably like
I'll give you,
maybe like
you can have
uh-huh.
two if you like. I can give you a kiss one and I can give you a non-kiss one.
All right. I'd say
Ace Frehley gave me 10.
did he? Yeah. I'd probably go like Van Halen one, like first album, Van Halen. I would have loved to be sitting in there on that. Um, damn, Kiss's first album, I think that would have been really cool to see how they did it back then as well.
Right.
Who else? And oh, there's another one. Yeah, or like that's a really good question. I'm a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, so
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen him recording like Blizzard of Oz or something, just sitting in there on that would have been
That's his,
really.
that's his best. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm a huge
mean,
Randy Rhoads fan too, so
yeah. I only
mm,
own two Aussie albums and they're the first two, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. But
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
just
To
this
see that, to
one.
see Randy playing back then, like just
Yeah.
he was just on fire. He was not from this earth. I reckon he was. Yeah,
But and Van Halen 1 is one of those pivotal albums that just changed so much for
yeah,
everyone. It really is absolutely fantastic.
definitely.
Let's leave you with the easy one. What is the meaning of life?
Wow, meaning of life. I think it sounds boring, but I think you got to just I've learned in my time you really have to do what makes you happy. I think because I've had moments in the band where I've hated it, and I actually started to think about the money a little bit too much. I was like, we're not getting any money. What's the point of this? I got really over it for a while, and I got real bitter towards it, and I was a bit unhappy in life about it, and until I eventually got that spark for it again, and realized I had the realization. I was like, no, I've been doing this the whole time just because I enjoy it, like because it makes me happy. I'm not thinking of the money. Like I don't need to think of the money, you know. So now when I do it, the band is strictly just because I enjoy it. And as I said earlier, anything that comes with it, like money or any sort of success or these great opportunities we do and stuff, is they're all just bonuses. The fun in it, and the thing I get off on is just playing guitar like live on stage or recording music, um and that's I think that's what I reckon anyway. You just got to do what makes you happy, because if you don't, you can get depressed pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so. Find something you love and
Yeah,
surround yourself with people that,
yeah.
yeah, care.
And no matter what, and if you love your job,
Yeah,
that's great. But if you have a job where it's strictly just for money and to pay your bills and stuff, just make sure I think always be doing your hobbies too if you can.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to the Rock Pit today, Austin. It's been great to talk to you because I always get to talk to Brennan. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Cool.
Good
Appreciate it.
luck.
Thanks for having me on.
Good luck with your tours. The UK is going to be fantastic. I've got mates playing that festival as well, so
Awesome.
I'll get them to try and say hello to
Yeah.
you. Uh,
Yeah.
Also in the States, the Monsters Rock Crew is going to blow you away. You'll be fantastic. People will love you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're excited for that and we can't wait. It's next Thursday we leave, so
Oh
coming
wow.
up.
Cool.
Mm.
Yeah, not too far. Thank you so much for that. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You
Great to
too, man.
talk
Good
to
to chat to
you.
you.
Let's catch up again at the end of the tours
Yeah.
and
Sounds good.
just do a recap.
Yeah, sounds great. Love to do
Th-
it.
Thanks, mate. Take care of yourself.
You too, man. Take
Safe
care, bro.
trip. Bye.
Bye, bro. Thank you.